Hello everyone, welcome to Downtown Tailoring. I have received a lot of questions lately about shortening zippers. Shortening zippers is a very common job among tailors and sewists. What happens is that if you have to change the zipper in one garment, well, it will be easier for you to measure it, and then you go to the store and buy the color and the size and the length zippers that you are requiring. But in the practical phase of when you have a tailoring shop, you have to take in account that there is a very big variety of zippers. You have invisible zipper, metal zipper for jeans, jacket zipper. I have hundreds of zippers, and I have them in different places. I have my bouquet of invisible zippers. I have a whole box with all kinds of pants zipper for jeans, for pants, for all their dresses. I have the longer invisible zipper in another box. I like to separate them by color or group of color, let's say. That way it will be a little bit easier to find the right zipper. I have to have so many zippers for coats, and I have to admit that nowadays it's a little easier because before coats were made in so many colors that then you needed to have all sorts of colors and variety. Let's say that I have a suede coat with a metal zipper that has to be replaced, or simply that I need to add a zipper on a jeans pocket. I will use a metal zipper for both jobs. And because for sure I will buy them bigger, then I will need to shorten. But shortening the zipper is a really easy job. You pretty much need to know where you need to shorten the zipper. For example, if you have a jacket zipper, you need the mechanism that is at the bottom part of the jacket for the jacket be opening and closing down. So you will need to shorten the zipper for sure from the top part. But in the case of the zipper on the jeans, you could do it both, either from the top or from the bottom. Let's say that you wanted to shorten the zipper from the bottom part. Then you pretty much cut it, and then you are going to use one stopper and you are going to put it this way at the bottom. I'm just doing it like that because in fact I want to shorten that zipper at the top part, but I wanted to show you how to do it. I really do not believe in doing it this way. I do not prefer it just because the bottom stop that you buy is not as strong as the original one. So might as well better cut them from the top part. So what you are gonna do when you cut it from the top part is to measure where you need the zipper to finish and mark it. And then you are gonna leave some, tail that it will be around 1 inch, maybe 3/4 inch. Don't close the zipper. You have to be sure that when you cut it, the slider is down. When you cut the zipper, make sure to put a safety pin so you accidentally don't move the slide out, because if you do, then inserting that slider is not a fan of that. You can burn the edges so it doesn't fray. Usually those zippers are made from polyester, and then you are going to remove all the teeth you need one by one. You can burn it again if you want, and then you are going to take the stopper that your original zipper has, or you can buy some stopper and just put a new one. Me, in general, I take the original stopper if I can, but if I can't, I just use one of mine. And here you go. This is a zipper that I installed in a pocket. I can link a video about that in our description box. In the case that you are replacing the zipper on a pair of jeans, it will be convenient if you cut it in the same way as I showed you before. But if you are careful enough, you can just crank your machine by hand when you are closing the waistband, and you might be able to get away not cutting the zipper when you are replacing it. It's a delicate decision because you can break the needle and break the machine. So if you decide to do so, you have to be really careful. So this case is different. I have a flat coil zipper that I have to replace, and it will be easier for me if I just cut the zipper at the bottom and not at the top part, because just cut it will be really easier than try to recreate the top part. But we can recreate the top part in a coil zipper. I will show you later. But in this case, for example, I just cut the zipper, like I leave like a 1 inch to 1.5 inches of tail. In that case, I leave a little bit more because I'm gonna clean the zipper with the same zipper like that. I'm gonna just cut out a little bit, like a 1/2 inch of the coil out. If you want, you can burn a white zipper. Is not really the best idea because it get a little burn and not really so nice, but burn it will prevent that the zipper fray. And then I'm gonna just fold it, like making a 90-degree angle from one edge to the other. And then if you want, you can finish by hand and do the other with the other side. But in my case, I'd rather go and finish that with my machine, just finishing all the edges like a triangle this way. And the zipper just became just a self-clean zipper. As I said before, there's no sense for me in having a 22 inches zipper, a 24 inches, a 26 and 28 and 30. It doesn't make sense in my store. Now the zipper is all done and my customer will be very happy. Another case that presents itself a lot with the coil zipper is, for example, when you are doing housing. Like in that case, I'm gonna do cushions. So I'm gonna just measure it, my fabric, and I'm gonna cut an extra fabric and I'm gonna attach the zipper to it. So what I want to show you is that in this case, you don't need any edge, like a clean edge, like you can cut it from the top and you can cut it from the bottom. In fact, most of the time, the zipper that you get for this kind of job are zipper that you buy by meter and you buy as sliders. And then you are going just to make as many zippers as you want. So in that case, I cut it, but I didn't have to make any sort of finish either at the top or at the bottom. And that happened as well in some purses, bag, backpack, you name it. In the case that you have a plastic zipper, that you have to use it for replacing a jacket, you are going to do exactly what you did with the metal zipper. And I can tell you that with the plastic is even easier because the teeth can be cut in a super easy way. And I have, as I said before, little bags of stopper that I can just use it after. Now is the interesting part. Again, a jacket zipper, you want to shorten from the top part, but let me show you this. The coil on those zippers is sewn with a chain stitch. You can see it chain at the top, straight at the bottom. When you cut it, you can open that little stitch. Of course, you have to put your stopper first because sometimes you know how the chain stitch work. So you don't want to damage your zipper. And then when you add your stopper, what you need to do is to open that chain stitch. Sometimes it's very easy, sometimes get a little tricky, but after you open the chain, you can just remove the coil and cut it. And now you can finish your zipper in a more clean way. This case, for example, is an invisible zipper that you use mostly on dresses, on skirt. I'm gonna replace that zipper. And pretty much, again, you don't want to shorten the zipper at the top part. You want to shorten the zipper at the bottom. This time, we are gonna use a little bit of material. I just got any amount, it doesn't matter. And then I wrap it a little bit and sew, and then cut the excess and keep wrapping and finish the sew. And then pretty much I'm gonna just cut the excess of material in the bottom part, and then from the top I will just pull it down this way, and then I'm gonna just stitch this stitch. You are gonna remove it later, but just to secure it. And then I'm gonna cut the excess again. I didn't measure anything, and now I'm gonna fold it twice, and I'm gonna do a top stitch. This is another way to finish your zipper that it will look really nice and cute. At the end, you are gonna remove the last stitch, and this is what you have now. A second option that you can do is to take a piece of tape, and you are gonna wrap it around the zipper just to measure the width, and then pin it, and then you are gonna sew it where the pin is. Remember to remove the pin, and then you are gonna cut the excess of material. Then you are gonna turn it to the other side, and now you have a really nice ring that you can insert in your zipper, and then you can stitch the two edges, and you will have a very nice and easy to clean zipper. So I left the I left the easier for the last. For the ones that are new to the channel, I wanted to remind that we have an e-course on Pattern Maker. I'm putting the link on the description box down below, so check it out if you are interested. And I just wanted to say that cutting the zipper is very easy. You just need a few tools like your pliers and some bottom stopper in some cases and top stopper in other cases. Please let me know in the comment if you shorten a lot zippers, or if you prefer just to buy the size you need so you don't have to cut them. If you like this video, please give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe, share, comment. Bye!